there, thanks for joining me today. I get a lot of questions on how to use a sewing machine, so I thought I would try to answer some of them today. I know when I first started sewing, learning how to actually use a machine was very intimidating, but hopefully I can show you today that it's easier than it seems. I want to first start out by saying that every machine is different. Yours might not be just like mine. If you're wanting to find out specifics on your sewing machine, check the manual that came with it. If you got your sewing machine secondhand or you just don't have a manual, check the back for your machine make and serial number. You'll be able to search this on Google to find a manual just for your machine. Plug your machine in and your foot pedal if you want to use one, and turn the machine on. First, we're going to wind a bobbin. A bobbin is a spool that holds the thread that forms the stitches on the underside of the fabric. Take the thread from the main spool and wrap it around the bobbin winding tension disc. Guide the thread through the hole in the bobbin from the inside to the outside and pull it up. Put the bobbin on the bobbin winder spindle and push the bobbin to the right. Hold on to this thread as you start the machine and wind a few layers. Then cut the thread close to the hole in the bobbin. Wind the rest of the bobbin. When the bobbin is full, it should stop automatically. Place the bobbin in the bobbin holder with the thread facing counterclockwise. Guide the thread into the front notch of the bobbin holder and then to the left and down through the thread cutter. Replace the hook plate cover when you're done. To thread the machine, first draw the thread around the upper thread guide. Then down and around the check spring holder. Draw the thread up from right to left over the take-up lever and down into the take-up lever eye. Pass the thread through the lower thread guide and slide the thread between the needle bar thread guide. Now thread the needle. All that's left is to draw up the bobbin thread by lowering and raising the needle. You can either do this with a button if you have one on your machine, or by using the hand wheel. Now you've officially threaded your machine. Not so hard, is it? Now we'll talk about changing the needle. First, we'll remove the foot from the machine by pressing the lever at the back to release it. Your machine should come with some type of small screwdriver like one of these. Use this to unscrew the needle clamp screw while holding the needle so it doesn't slip into your machine. You'll see that there's a flat side and a curved side on a sewing machine needle. On my machine, the flat side goes toward the back of the machine. Replace the needle the same way that you took it out. There are lots of different types of feet for sewing machines, which can be kind of confusing if you don't know what they're all for. This is an all-purpose or a zigzag foot. This is the foot that you'll be using for most projects, and if this is the only foot your machine came with, then that's totally okay. This is a zipper foot. You can probably guess that this one's for sewing zippers. It allows you to sew close to the edge of zipper teeth, as well as piping or other bulky projects. These are satin stitch feet. They are used to make decorative stitching because you can easily see the stitches you're making since they're clear. The automatic buttonhole foot is used to easily make buttonholes. To use this foot, place a button in the slot in the back side of it. Guide the thread through the hole and clip it into the foot holder. Then pull down on the buttonhole lever. These are blind hem feet, which are used to create stitching for an invisible blind hem. This is an over-edge foot. This helps to neatly bind the edge when using an overlock stitch. This is a 1/4 inch foot. As you can probably guess from the name, it gives a perfect 1/4 inch seam, which is great for quilting. And finally, we have the walking foot. This one is really great for sewing quilts or sewing through multiple pieces of fabric, as it will guide everything through evenly. To attach the walking foot, you'll have to unscrew the foot holder from the machine. Then line up the grooves of the walking foot with the set screw hole and screw it back into place. Ensure that the lever for the walking foot is placed above the needle clamp screw. To sew with a foot pedal, you use your foot to control the speed of the machine. The further down you press on the pedal, the faster the machine will go. Sewing with a foot pedal can be challenging if you're not used to it. Take some time to practice on a scrap piece of fabric and figure out what works best for you. Depending on the fabric and the type of stitch you use, you'll have to adjust your needle thread tension accordingly. The higher the number, the tighter the top thread tension will be. The ideal stitch will have the top and bottom stitches evenly balanced. I'll show you some of the basic types of stitches, the first being the straight stitch. This is the stitch that you'll use for most of your sewing projects. You can change the stitch length depending on what you're using it for as well. You'll also see that I did a back stitch at the beginning and the end of my straight stitch to lock it into place. The basting or gathering stitch is another type of straight stitch. To do a basting stitch, you increase the stitch length to the maximum setting on your machine. Basting stitches are used either as a temporary stitch because they're easy to remove, or when you need to gather a piece of fabric together. For example, if you're making a ruffled skirt. The zigzag stitch is used for sewing stretchy types of material because it helps the fabric keep its elasticity. Another tip for working with stretchy fabric is to always use a stretch needle. The last basic stitch I'm going to show you is an overlock stitch. The overlock stitch is used for finishing the edges of fabrics. You'll probably recognize this stitch from most of your everyday clothes. And here's what all these different types of stitches look like. The final thing I'm going to show you is how to clean your sewing machine. Mine was definitely overdue for a cleaning, so don't judge me. Ensure your machine is turned off and remove the foot and needle. Unscrew the plate and remove it, and remove your bobbin holder. Clean out the bobbin holder using a lint cloth. The rest of the machine I clean using cotton swabs. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope this video has helped you to learn the basics of using a sewing machine. I think that basic sewing is a skill that everyone should learn. Being able to mend clothing or create something new is really rewarding. If you liked this video, I'd love it if you gave it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more videos like this. Bye for now!